to mention to everybody to, obviously we don't want these gorgeous flowers to go to waste. So you can all fight over it at each table, but certainly somebody from every table, please feel free to take the arrangement when you leave. Not the mirrors underneath. They can have the base. Also, you'll notice your, you probably already noticed, but your souvenir champagne glasses and the engraving there on them. Those are all for each of you to take home as well. I'm glad to be here tonight to honor two people without whom I obviously wouldn't be here at all. Needless to say, I've known them my whole life. Quite wonderful people, as we all know. Just a quick little history. Most of you guys know a lot of this, but they met in 1964 at Henderson State University, fell in love, and were married in 1967. At the wedding, the minister said the wrong name, and apparently tried to marry my dad to Mom's twin sister, Annette. In the end, Charles ended up with the intended twin, Anita, and I guess the rest is history. They honeymooned in Hawaii, thus the theme of tonight's event, and then of course resided in Girton, and for several years, I don't remember how many, but worked together at the old Girton Lumber Company, which some of you might remember. By now, not only had my mom become a member of the Cabe clan, but also a full-fledged member of the Razorback Nation, which Dad insisted on. I think more than anything, though, she's always been a Henderson ready.
Yes.
Go Rays and Razorbacks. Anyway, as most of us know, she has remained true and devoted to Henderson State, to the community of Girton, and First United Methodist Church, of course, to the family foundations, businesses. Most wonderfully, always remained true and devoted to my father and I, and for that we're eternally grateful and happy. Not only have they always been the best parents anyone could ever hope to have, but they were also wonderful to their parents, as a lot of us know. Especially their mothers, my two grandmothers, Babam and Nana, who they took great care of as they got older, and even spent a good part of the 1990s driving the two mothers all over the whole country to see virtually every state. And I'm sure it was fun to be, I can't imagine that car, but apparently they had a great time, and I know that my grandmothers did. Excuse me. Anyway, they've always been tirelessly devoted to their family and friends, their church and community, and of course the Cabe Foundations. And they have been wholly devoted to each other for 50 years. So they do truly exemplify what a marriage really should be and what true love really is. Now, I'm not saying they're not funny and a little eccentric. Dad has been known to put his shoes on the wrong foot before. And once he even forgot to put them on at all when he went out. And Mom, as everybody knows, can rarely remain seated for even this long. She makes the Energizer Bunny look like a sleepy turtle. They're fun and funny, generous and kind, and just altogether amazing. They've changed the world and the people around them, as we all know, for their 50 years together, and I'm so honored and proud to have them as my parents. So, did I forget? Oh gosh, thought I forgot my glass. If you'll all please raise your glass in celebration and in honor of my parents, Charles and Anita Cabe, on their golden anniversary. Cheers. Cheers. I would like to invite anyone else, if there's anyone else who would like to make a toast, I would invite you to do that now. Looks like we have a gentleman in the front. So I'll turn it over to the crowd now. Thanks.
Thanks, Blake. Most of you here don't know me, and that's your misfortune. It's not mine. But I'm Henry Thompson. I grew up in Prescott till the 5th grade, and then I moved to Gurdon and met Charlie in the 6th grade. And at that time, Gurdon had a town marshal. I'm not sure what the police force is called now. But if it wouldn't have been for Mr. and Miss Cabe, Charlie and I had probably spent several nights in the jail there in Gurdon. But, you know, whatever, we just came up with all kinds of things to do. And one of them specifically that I wanted to mention tonight, we were probably in about the 9th grade, somewhere in that range of time. And Mr. Cabe bought an old Jeep. I think it was actually an old military Jeep. And Charlie drove it occasionally, not very often, but occasionally. And I think it was David Bullard and Bobby Henna and Lenny Prothrow and myself and Charlie decided we needed to load up in that Jeep and go out camping for the weekend, you know, because he had this Jeep, now we could just go anywhere. So we did, or we thought we were anyway. We started down Red Springs Road, and we turned off on another road, and then we turned off on another one and wandered around, and we were probably 1,000,000 miles from nowhere. And there's a mud puddle in the road up in front of us, you know. And everybody looked at Charlie and says, "Oh, Charlie, this is no problem. This is old Jeep, put it in Grandma and, you know, just goose it and we'll go right through it." Well, we got about halfway through it and it just down below the axles. And so, you know, here we are, probably been, I don't know, 4 or 5 hour walk at least to get back to find civilization, you know. And so we spent the weekend digging that Jeep out of that mud hole. And if I remember right, that was the last time Mr. Cabe ever let Charlie drive it.
That's great.